This week on Tech Talk Tonight, we make a stand for Google Glass and why it shouldn't be banned. We talk about the global meetup of the Reddits around the world, and our chat room goes on a big tangent about groceries, while we talk about Amazon and what they plan to do with their groceries. All that and more this week on Tech Talk Tonight.
Tonight, episode 90 for Wednesday, June 5th, 2013. Millennials.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is Tech Talk Tonight, and we are talking tech. And as we teased last week, we're going to tell you all about what happened at WWDC. Gavin, what happened at WWDC this week?
Nothing.
Why didn't anything happen at WWDC?
Why did we tease that? WWDC is not till next week, everyone knows. Or 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
It's next week.
Yeah. But next week at WWDC, I was listening to another podcast today that...
Which podcast?
That we may be an emulation of. I don't know what.
Oh.
But there's going to be iTunes Radio. What's up with this?
I have heard...
This isn't even a story.
I have also heard... No, it's not a story, but I heard that rumor, too, that basically they're going to have their Pandora competitor. Do we want to call it that? Or Spotify? Or
Pandora TV was just released.
That
what
was
is
released
this?
today, too. And not on
Pandora
our list of stories.
is on TV. iTunes is on radio. I don't know what's going on here. This is bizarro Tech Talk tonight.
There's just a lot of things going on this week. Like at first, like looking for stories and stuff today, I was like, there's not that much happening, and then kind of things progress throughout the day. But they're all kind of little things, don't you think? Like Pandora being on TV. I mean, like technically, I already have Pandora on my TV because I have a computer hooked up to my TV. Fine.
No, I'm agreeing with you. It's
Okay.
a BFD.
Okay, yeah.
BFD. Who was the radio on there? Like, how is that a news story? Okay, cool. I can now, like, they made their app HTML5 compliant.
Yes.
We should actually...
Well, I wish a lot more
links.
things were HTML5 compliant, to be honest.
Pandora is already, isn't it?
For the web and stuff, though. But this is, like, making it more HTML5 compliant for television. So, like, browsers that are built within TVs and stuff, because you're going to tv.pandora.html now. .com. Whatever. Anyway.
.com.html. HTTPS :
Indeed. But, okay, go back to iRadio or iMusic or whatever they're going to call it.
It's just a rumor.
Yes, still a rumor, but does this tickle your fancy? Do you actually want to be in iTunes anymore listening to music?
A, I have hated iTunes since the beginning. B, I never use iTunes now. I specifically use other music software so I don't have to load anything onto my iPhone via iTunes. And third, as someone was discussing on the Twit network the other day as well, like, why is iTunes like the end-all be-all app for all devices, right? If I want to put an app on my iPhone, iTunes. If I want to rent a video, iTunes.
Cute.
If I want to buy a song, iTunes. If I want to, install a kitchen sink, iTunes. Why is everything in iTunes? iTunes is for tunes.
So it should be everything, are you getting at? Or,
well, I mean,
why hasn't third-party software come out to...
Why hasn't Apple kept iTunes to be iTunes and have other applications to handle things like, oh, this is the iPhone apps application.
Well, there is an apps application now, but it's for apps for laptops and desktops and stuff.
Yeah, but if you want, and like backing up your iPhone, like what kind of in 2,000 years, aliens are going to be reading about us in history books.
And they're not going to care one bit about our technology because they'll be light years ahead of time, I think.
They're going to be memorizing facts for the test, and they're going to be like, wait, to back up your iPhone, you had to open up iTunes? I don't get this. This is going to happen. Put it in the red book.
That is... Okay, fine. In what year do you think this will be happening, Gavin? Aliens will be studying iTunes. Is that how I'm writing this in here?
2,000 years, I think I said. So
2,000 years.
2013 now, so 4013 approximately.
We should go back through some of these at some point.
Let's save it for the 100th show.
All right, fine.
If we live to that show.
Yes.
Google Play is just a story they're saying, but wait, Google Play is becoming bloated too, isn't it? Google Play, you can buy songs, you can buy apps.
Yes.
You can
All of
buy
the above. I mean, it's the iTunes of Android, as far as I know. I haven't used Google Play.
Yeah, or they
To
could
be
rename iTunes and call it like, I don't know, everything.
Well, Google Play is kind of all-encompassing.
Yeah, they kept it general, which is a good thing. Oh, I get what they did there. You can play music, but you can also play games.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Ah,
That's a genius idea.
You heard it here first, folks.
All right. Speaking of Google, you posted a story on the
did.
subreddit, Google Glass should be banned for privacy reasons.
Yes. Well, okay.
Privacy.
Privacy indeed. You have Google Glass coming out, and there seems to be before it's even widely available to consumers, you have this giant backlash going on now of people saying, well, I don't want you wearing that around me because I don't know if you're recording or not. That's in the news. There's all kinds of stories about it. Like I hear more stories about that than I hear about apps coming out for the
And
Google
it's because
Glass.
it's easy to write about. It's an easy story for the media to write.
Okay. So we're having legislation already drawn up that's banning Google Glass from being in places and stuff.
Really?
Yes.
Where? In state legislatures or the United States?
Hang on. Open the actual
America.
open that article that I linked to.
Yes.
And this was for you.
In Britain. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, this is UK stuff. But I think I think this argument is on the line of all guns should be banned. If you ban all guns, only the criminals will have guns.
Interesting idea.
Okay, and the fact that ban all of Google Glass and it'll just be the people that are using it for nefarious reasons that will have Google Glass-like things.
Well, and don't even get started on the things that many people have already pointed out. Like, it's much easier to take a video discreetly on your phone. You act like you're playing a game on your phone, but you're actually taking a video. Like, you could do that in the bathroom right now.
That's true.
I
have. No,
or the fact that there are even smaller cameras, well, not smaller, but like similar-sized cameras like the GoPro or even smaller,
even
like
smaller than
security-type cameras that you could easily like mount on your body in a discreet place.
And Google Glass really isn't that discreet. You have the computing device behind your ear.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of knows what Google Glass looks like now. And that's like something to look out for. Oh, yeah, he's got Google Glass. He could take a picture. I could take a picture anytime I want to with my phone. Just be snapped. So
I think it's just people. I think it's slow news day. People need some.
I agree.
We need another.
But I want to come out as being that guy saying, don't worry about banning Google Glass because the people that already want to do those types of things are going to find more discreet ways to do those kinds of things.
Just like Spy Kids.
Just like Spy Kids and Lava Girl and Shark Boy.
Leo Laporte was in Spy Kids. Did you know this?
No, I did not. How did that happen?
No, I don't think he actually was, but we'll get into this in the post show. But it's a good one. It's a conspiracy that only there's no one else talking about this online other than me. The original Spy Kids.
Is it just somebody that looks like Leo Laporte? Is that what happened?
Probably.
Okay. So another one up in stories today, Gavin. Are you going to go to the Reddit meetup day?
No.
No. Why not?
Why would I do that? What is that?
Well, click on that
is
link
everyone
first.
Meeting up in one place?
Well, it's like the day of Reddit meetups and stuff.
I can't even find it.
It's the second story on there. And the picture I love is it's one of the
QR codes.
Well, I was going to get to that next, but they're on AudioFile. It's one of my favorite subreddits, r/audiophile or whatever. And one of their top posts is the successful audiophile Reddit meetup in New York at some type of convention, and it's literally two guys. And they're not happy.
Because geeks on Reddit do not want to meet up. We want to sit in our basements and post things and get karma.
It's true.
That's what we want to do.
And then, okay, so the second part of that is
what's this meetup? So this is the official Reddit blog. Are they trying to get lots of different subreddits to have meetups or what?
More, I think, close together, geological. That word. People trying to meet up for Reddit, all Reddit in general.
So let's say I wanted to go to the St. Louis Reddit. What do I do?
I think we would have to go to the St. Louis subreddit and try to find when the meetup's going to be. And there's been St. Louis subreddit meetups before. Excuse me. Well, neither of us have gone to them. There was one during the St. Patrick's Day parade, I know.
So they're all like self-organized basically, and these are mostly organized around specific subreddits based on a geographical location.
Yes. As far as I understand. And then when is the most appropriate time to use a QR code?
That would be never.
That is correct. And seems to be like a big thing that they're doing. Although, like, when the Reddit...
I mean, like, if you've... I think the blog post says you should wear the QR code. So that's the one benefit, that if you see someone literally wearing a QR code, you don't even have to scan it. You know it's a Reddit person, because there's no one else who's going to do that on the entire continent.
They're QR code badges.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you remember the QR code that they had on the Reddit bus that was coming around?
Do you remember the QR codes that they put on the ministers at my Chicago Catholic parish on Ash Wednesday? They were giving out ashes by the train station to like people going to work, and they had QR codes on their robes.
And the QR codes linked to what?
The church's website, obviously. Send us your worst usage of QR codes.
Have you ever read the Left Behind
I'm
series?
sure there's a subreddit about this, probably. No, I've heard of it though.
Okay, so it's all about the Book of Revelation. It's like a
yeah, everybody like get like the sinners, like the good people get sucked up to heaven, but the sinners,
the rapture,
and the evil people are left behind on earth.
True,
and
but
then they have to. Like, I've never read the books, but I feel like they're gonna like fight each other to the death, basically, because there's only like 100 people left or something.
There's a lot more than 100 people left, and then you still have converts after the rapture and everything. But they go into the whole mark of the beast thing that's in Revelations and stuff, whether it's going to be on your hand or your forehead. And there's like an actual Satan mark and everything. But like the QR code on priest things, I don't know. They just screams mark of the beast.
Catholics are separate from that whole thing.
I don't know why that would be mark of the beast, because it's actually on a priest.
Anyway,
there were good Marxists too in the Left Behind series, so that's why. That's where I'm
I mean,
from.
this brings up just like meetups in general. You and I have gone to some meetups together. No homo, but
no homo. Oh, the one meetup. Wait, has there been more than one meetup? We went to a Brian Brushwood meetup, I guess is what you would call it.
Yeah, well,
Diamond
and we
Club
went to
meetup.
that T-Rex one before.
Yeah,
So
okay.
meetup.com is an interesting idea. I've just been trying to get a little bit more into it, but it's kind of like one of those things where I'm just too lazy in the evenings to go.
Yeah, it's like
oftentimes.
on Monday nights. Like Monday, I don't want to do crap.
Well, even if there's even like on a Thursday night, it's like I could go and maybe
Or Wednesday
maybe it's
nights
just 'cause
is the
I'm
other.
very introverted, but it's like I could either like go out and be by myself or with a friend and have to talk to people I don't know about a topic that I'm just learning about, or I can sit in my house and do what I want.
True.
But it's good for meeting people. That's
It's
why
true.
it's called Meetup.
What do you got on the list for today, Gavin?
Speaking of meeting people, the Facebook experiment has failed.
The Facebook experiment has failed. Do tell. What is the Facebook experiment?
Well, this is just an interesting blog post that someone posted about a week ago.
Okay.
Just talking about how worthless. I mean, it's something that we talk about a lot on this show, but I think he wrote it in a very some interesting ideas. He said like Facebook basically doesn't work anymore. Like he finds himself using it less and less.
Okay.
And some of the reasons are, well, let's see if you agree. Indiscriminate sharing. Basically, like when you share something on Facebook, you don't know who it's going to go to. It could go to everyone. You assume it's going to all of your followers. It
Right.
doesn't actually, but in principle, it could go to all your followers.
Plenty of people probably have you blocked by now.
But like that doesn't make sense, right? Like sometimes if there's like a story about the construction industry, I want to send that to my dad, but a lot of the people I know wouldn't necessarily be interested in that.
Right.
And like that's just one example of like I guess Google Plus kind of solves this problem, right?
With
You
circles and which circles you're
you can
sending
share
it
things
to.
with certain circles and things like that. But that's one of the reasons Facebook gets worse the more you use it. You know, like, because when you start out with Facebook, you have nothing, and you only subscribe to your best friends, and you're seeing all this great information. But over time, you've like subscribed to like tons of groups.
Yeah, you like Mashable,
like
and then
all
you've
this
got
crap. And unless you like go and unlike things, which is really hard to do, you like get all this crap in your Facebook feed. Loudmouths now have gigantic megaphones. Basically, like the most annoying people in your social circles are the ones who you get messages from.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why I don't like
This is a horrible world that we log into. And finally, social media scamsters, blah, blah, blah.
People trying to promote their damn podcasts and get people to listen to it.
Yeah. No.
Those people, I tell you, they're the worst.
I'm just reading the chat room. Yeah, so I use Facebook less and less, although I'd probably still check it, log into it out of habit more than I should. You don't really use it that often, other than to promote your crap.
It's true. I view it as just a promotional tool. All the posts on there, because you're trying to do the whole like fake reality. Like, you don't want to post. Well, only certain type of people, I guess, try to post this. But like, oh, woe is me stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like drama queens.
Yeah.
It's like what you don't want in your life.
I had to boil some fava beans for dinner last night, and that's the only thing I ate. That's not something I'm going to put on Facebook. I drank virgin pina coladas last night. I didn't post that on Facebook.
They're saying on the chat room that the Rob in the chat room used Google Plus private photo sharing to share photos within only his group.
Yes.
On a vacation, and that was pretty good. Maybe we should use this on our guys trip.
Perhaps.
No homo.
No homo. Why is that a recurrent theme tonight?
Yeah, so Facebook's worthless. Everybody leave.
Yes, go join us on Google Plus.
Interestingly, I heard someone was telling me about like this Millennials research that they read, which we're technically the Millennials. Well, actually, you might be kind of older.
I think I wanted to say I was Generation Y, but I don't know those.
It's all gray area.
It doesn't matter.
But they're saying that like they don't use Facebook as much. They use like Twitter and Instagram and all these like smaller social sites.
Snapchat? Or are we too old for that? I feel too old for Snapchat, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I've not really used it.
I know my young cousins do. He winks because that's how he sends all of his. Generation Y equals Millennials, we're being told. Is that true?
I'm being told.
There's the wiki article. Oh, I don't have that turned on tonight, but I wish I did. Generation Y.
So speaking of Generation Y, Generation Y buys more things online. Would you say that?
Say that again?
Generation Y / Millennials buy more things online?
Yes.
Do you buy buy more online than you used to, like in the past few years?
I think I've always bought quite a bit online. I don't think I've like really increased over the years.
Well, I definitely buy more things on Amazon since subscribing to Amazon Prime.
True. I would say the same for me.
Which is kind of a scheme when you think about it. Like some people say that if you're paying, it's basically like Costco or a membership to Sam's Club, right? You're paying money just so you can get better deals if you buy stuff from them.
Yeah.
But really they're just stealing, I think they're just stealing sales from other stores, right?
Well, you could say the same about Walmart when it rolls into town.
Yeah.
It's stealing all the mom and pop stores' money and stuff.
But anyway, there's...
Sticking to the generation thing, I wanted to bring up, how much do you use your credit card? Or no, I should ask, how much do you use cash to pay for things?
I never use cash.
Okay.
When I don't have to.
I had the interesting experience of
when I'm trying to hide my expenses from my wife. Just kidding, I don't do
I had the interesting experience of seeing my parents use a credit card at a restaurant for probably one of the first times ever.
Really? They never
Over the weekend. It was crazy.
Wait, why do your parents never use credit card at a
They
restaurant?
always have paid with cash.
Really?
They come from that generation, I guess.
So did you like make fun of them and were they embarrassed?
I didn't mean for it to be that way. I was just really like awestruck. Like, why don't you know that they're going to bring you back another part of the receipt that you sign and put the tip on. Because that was like their thing. Like, how are we going to do the tip? I'm like, is she going to take my card again after I have to sign? I'm like, no. Haven't you done this before? I don't know. It's just.
They're in the same in the chat room that our parents never always use card. So I think your parents are just very unique.
That could be.
But it's a good idea, right? Because lots of people say if you use a credit card, it's too easy to like build up credit card debt. So you should always use straight up cash.
But what if you always pay your bill?
Yeah, that's the alternate thing, right? Which I feel like a lot of people, or at least people I know, I don't know if it's true for our generation, but I have never paid any interest on a credit card.
I haven't either.
But I use my credit card all the time. I just pay the entire bill every single month. I'm lucky enough that I'm in that position to do that.
I would say I'm the same way. And I had when did you get your credit card?
When I turned 18, as soon as I could.
Yeah.
And I had a check card even before that, so I was using plastic before I was 18.
Because you could pay for gas with it,
Yeah.
right? That's the way I got it.
Well, when I turned exactly 16, I didn't have a check card yet. But I didn't want to pay with cash, because that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, well.
There was a period in there where it was like, gas was too expensive, to throw down $40. I don't know. Maybe that's not weird.
I'm showing my age over you now because I remember I was paying less than $2 a gallon when I first started driving.
Probably. But anyway, I would throw down a check at the Moto Mart, and that was.
They were one of the first ones in town to get credit card thing on their thing. I remember that.
But speaking
now
of buying
I feel
things
old.
Online, Amazon plans big expansion of online grocery business.
Yes. I was asking Andrea about this tonight because she just made the comment yesterday or the day before about produce and how produce is more or less just hard because it molds too quickly. Do you have this problem? Does Kate have this problem?
Wait, what?
Produce just, we don't eat it fast enough is the problem.
See, this is what Katie would make fun of me about. I think produce, goes bad way sooner than it actually does. Maybe not tomatoes, but lettuce. I always assume lettuce goes bad really, really, really quickly, but it doesn't actually.
Well, she was making the argument that raspberries go bad too quickly, and this she admit was her own fault. She didn't put the asparagus in a water cup or whatever, how you're supposed to do it. She left it in the package that we bought it in, and it went bad before we could eat it. And anyway,
you got to get the bad things out of there because they'll cause the anyway.
We do eat a lot. Doug's yelling at me that I'm not eating enough vegetables, I guess. But we eat a lot of vegetables. We had some tonight.
So you're saying? So your argument is that they can't. So it'll be nasty food because they have to ship it, and it'll be it's building 2 extra days into its life.
Actually, Wait, you're saying it's going to take 2 days for the produce and stuff to get here? Because I thought the whole thing with Amazon was...
Well, Amazon is 2-day shipping, right? Amazon Prime, 2-day shipping.
I thought they were... With the produce and stuff, it was supposed to be same-day shipping. That's what they were trying to get to.
Probably.
And, well, I listened to Tech News today. Sorry, 4-letter word around here. But, their whole thing was, the people that are doing the produce and stuff with Amazon actually know how to pick out better produce because they're supposed to be experts in the field and stuff. You might actually be getting a better product because you're using their service.
So you're saying that the Shop and Save national buyer isn't a produce expert? Hell yeah, he's a produce expert, he or she. Other companies have produce experts. Amazon isn't treading new grounds on experts in produce.
Maybe,
but
I don't know how to argue that. I'm not a produce expert, so
I
don't know.
This article went around, or at least Katie sent it to me a few weeks ago, that most apples you buy are a year and a half old. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, they put them in cold storage, and they can sit there for a year, 2 years before they actually sell them. Isn't that freaky?
That is a little freaky. Although the apple I ate tonight at dinner had a brown spot in it about that big that I had to cut out. Is that bad? It's still edible.
Now we get the feedback. When I bought apples by myself, I assumed they would go bad I think maybe this is an American. Maybe I'm just crazy, or maybe this is an American thought. But like, I assume things will go bad in like a week or two at least.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like leftovers. Like
I'll assume nothing that I'm gonna put in my fridge is gonna last more than 2 weeks, pretty much. But apples apparently can sit there for like months and they'll be fine.
should we be putting our apples in the freezer? Is this what you're telling me?
No, the fridge. Cold storage is not freezer. It's just
Okay.
it's just like pretty cold. It's like a refrigerator.
Okay.
That's why they used to put, apples in barrels in the basement, right? Is the old thing.
Yeah.
Like in the 1700s.
Right.
It's basically
And they
the same
made
thing.
ship. You
Yeah.
know, they would ship them across the ocean and everything. That wasn't taking long enough time. So.
Anyway, so will you buy your produce on Amazon? I think we definitely will think about it if it's good prices.
I don't
You
think
can't
I'm ever
really
going to
look
get
at it as the
Andrea around to
problem.
do that.
I guess is the real problem.
What was that?
You can't really like look at and inspect it. Like we
Right.
go to Costco because they have really good prices, and you can it's like a grocery store. Well, if you go to the grocery store, right, you like find the melon that you want because you can
Gotta
assess.
thump those melons.
Yeah, no homo.
I think that's the opposite. I'm pretty sure.
I think we should continue just to take the joke from the NSFW show the night before every single episode.
Yeah, but
It
then
would
I
be
actually have to
hilarious.
watch the show.
I make you do that anyway.
And instead, I watched This Is 40.
I think we're ready for the random subreddit of the week.
Random subreddit of the week. Hey, look, this works.
I can't hear it.
No, we can't hear it, but they can. The random subreddit of the week, Gavin, which I forgot to post in our subreddit, but the
Yeah, I
random
don't see it.
subreddit this week is, what was it? Convince Me? What was it called?
Convince me of anything or something.
Change my view, scrolling.
Yeah, change my view, I think.
There it is. Yes, change my view. /r/change my view. And okay, so the object of this subreddit is you're going to post in the title your view on something, and then expect everybody in the comments to post the opposite or why you should be thinking the opposite of what you just posted. That's change my view.
Mm-hmm.
What can we change your view on, Gavin?
I don't think I should respond to that question. I believe size does matter. Change my view.
Whoa.
That's the fourth on the top right now.
Oh, you're not saying this for yourself?
No. So what's so this is a good idea for people who, I don't know. I guess it's just a lively discussion, basically, right? Like,
They're lively.
here's a semi controversial statement. Let's debate it. That's basically what the subreddit is.
Yes, it is. And it seems to be quite popular.
What's the top of all time?
The top of all time is I remain unconvinced that my death has a fixed 100% probability. Blah. Change my view. What do you say to that in contrary? What?
I can't. I agree with that person. I believe that in our lifetime, they're going to figure out how to keep us alive forever.
You think you will be immortal. And Reddit is now under a heavy load. How dare you?
Nah, I don't know. I go back and forth.
This
So
probably,
I would be
I think this
interested in
kind of brings up more of a ethical religious issue of the fact that should you really be immortal?
And how does it change your life outlook if you, well, I mean, I guess I'm talking about age related death, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever, we're never going to be so safe that like there won't be people dying from like car crashes, right? I feel like that will always happen. There will be people who are
Accidents.
dying. But in general, like the typical when you get to 80 and you die because of old age complications, I think that's going to go away.
Well, okay. You kind of bring up what this guy now says in like the context portion of it. Despite the overwhelming evidence that all human life so far has been subject to mortality, I still remain skeptical it's impossible to achieve immortality. There are already effectively immortal life forms existing on Earth, for example, certain jellyfish, plants, and lobsters. Did you know lobsters are immortal, technically?
I think that could be argued.
But then, like, the thing is, why did they make them delicious then?
I don't know. Anyway, we don't have time to discuss these intense moral issues.
True.
But these are intense moral issues you can discuss in the comments.
I do like the top comment beyond this, though. This is now a guy trying to convince him that he can't be immortal. And one of the things that he basically goes into years beyond your normal life expectancy. So in about, what is that? 5 with 9 zeros. So 5 billion years from now, you've got the sun basically exploding. How are you going to prevent that? Because you probably couldn't run NASA yourself.
Yep.
So we'll move on from there. I thought that was an interesting discussion. And a lot of these discussions are interesting. So go and check out the subreddit /r/ChangeMyView.
So a few more stories. We're running out of time here. The first one is our weekly Kickstarter.
Our weekly Kickstarter now. We have a weekly Kickstarter?
This Kickstarter is a bicycle that has LEDs in the spokes that you can put like messages and images on.
Okay, and I think there was a little bit of viral marketing with this.
It's called Monkey Light Pro.
I saw a GIF of within the
I believe you mean GIF.
Whatever you say. Within the video, they show the lights showing the Nan Cat inside of the spokes and everything. That's one of the video things that you can have going on within your wheels. Exactly.
45 days to go.
There is a GIF of this on Reddit before this Kickstarter started. I think they were trying to drum up publicity on Reddit before they actually went live with the Kickstarter.
Well, why would they try to do that before they were live? When they do it while they're live, so people can click on it, be like, "That's cool," and then donate.
Well, I think
that's like missing.
I wish I could find it and like
target.
go back to the comments, but I bet you somewhere in the comments then they made the
I mean, that's fine.
Kickstarter and get one. Like,
I think that's cool. That's what they should. That's what all Kickstarters should do.
And plus, it's cool. Now,
380 backers right now. 134,000 pledged out of 180. 45 days to go. So it is not fully. So unlike like the Pebble Watch that was like overly pledged within like the first 2 days,
right?
This is actually taking a little bit of time. Mostly because I think you need to pay like to actually get one of these systems.
They're not cheap.
It's not cheap. You have to pledge at least looks like $500, $500 or $600. I'm not sure.
You don't think these will be too distracting for like people driving around your bike, do you?
Well, and how does it look in the daylight? Like
they have within the video,
images,
they show it off in the day, and it looks pretty impressive.
But most of the cool things are happening at night.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it'll be one of those things that it looks cool at night, but not as cool during the day.
If I had this on my bike, would I need to be wearing anything else reflective, do you think, if I was riding my bike at night?
Yes, because they still can't see you coming if you're straight at you.
Okay, fair enough.
And you have to have a light.
Is that law?
No, but
I haven't been riding at night, so.
I don't know. That's the GIF, and they posted GIF versus GIF story in the chat room.
I saw that. And so ends the Kickstarter of the week.
Are we still live?
We are still live. Supposedly. That didn't kick off tonight. Anyway, what else is out there, Gavin? I think that's all the stories that we had lined up for the week. What's your cool thing this week? You got a cool thing lined up?
My cool thing is a blog /news site that just launched. It's of past ex-Gizmodo people called thesweethome.com.
The Sweet Home, and it's just news?
It's basically a blog. It's almost like Consumer Reports meets Gizmodo, almost. They post intense topics about the best thing for your home or garden.
Is that it?
Yes.
Interesting.
So like on the front page right now, the best pruning shears, and they've got like a pretty long article about like all this stuff. You know, the best dishwasher, the best ice cube tray is a really good one. Is the site
Why
down?
is there do we not like white space, or what's going on with that logo there? Can I run this as the worst website of the week too? Then I don't know if I like this.
Oh, I just lost my internet. That's why I thought we were blocked.
Oh, well, I apologize. I do have a cool thing that I posted a subreddit about this week. I fixed these headphones this week. I don't know if you know the story behind these, Gavin, but do you remember the night I ended up in the hospital?
Because of your
Bleeding from my hand and stuff?
Yes. And
I
your
had to
wife
get
found
stitches.
you dead on the floor. You were, I believe, you were legally dead for like 2 hours, and then they revived you. St. Joe's Hospital.
I can
This is
neither.
where we would put in an ad for St. Joe's Hospital.
Yes, it would be, but I can neither confirm nor deny if I was dead for that long. But okay, so the story behind that is the fact that I was working on this set of headphones that night and ended up cutting myself and losing too much blood, I guess. But anyway, I went back. I went back, and I finally finished working on this pair of headphones, and despite the fact that I still have electrical tape here and need to get some shrink wrap, they are functioning. Now,
That's
you didn't
cool.
like the logo. Does the logo look
It looks a
better
little
in person?
better in person because you had a very up
Up close and personal picture of it on.
So are these like super hip and like
They're retro, man.
I mean, they're retro clearly, but like, are they retro in a good sense or in a bad sense? You know?
Really, they're super comfy. Try it out.
Do you have lice or something?
No.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, cool. Well, so what kind of connection is it? The
It's
quarter
quarter
inch
inch.
or eighth inch?
Quarter inch.
Man. So have you listened to it on? Have you listened to like a high quality?
Well, I
Like
mean,
what are the audio files called?
FLAC.
Have you listened to some
Or OGG.
FLAC audio on this versus like your other? Like those are my headphones at home, Sennheisers.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
it better?
It's still relative to the entire system and stuff we got going on here, because you've got the cheap headphone amplifier splitter that we've got going on here. Then you've got all the wiring and stuff I have for the actual system and stuff we've got for podcasting and running to all the different computers and stuff. So maybe if I took these and like isolated them to like one headphone amplifier to
They're
the
not
laptop
over
or
ear.
something.
They're on ear,
They're on ear, yes. They're
which
not.
is different than like the cool ones now.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be canceling headphones or whatever. But
Yeah,
the ones
well-
I've been using weren't canceling either. They went
Yeah.
over my ear, but they had the slits to where you could still hear and stuff. But no, I like them just because they're super comfy and they're old-timey looking. So, and our audiophile liked them, and they sent me off to Vintage Audio as well that
Oh,
they
yeah.
wanted me to post.
Did
it,
you
so
cross-post it?
I cross-posted it.
Yeah, that's really cool. You should get into like, you should get into more. You should like buy old headphones and fix them.
I could do that. Well, I mean, if it's just like all I did with this was the short was somewhere up here in the wire, and all I did was shorten the wire then.
And that's another cool thing with old audio equipment, right? You can, in general, you could take it apart, you could mess with it. It was built to be messed with. Where
Yeah.
equipment now, especially if you talk Apple and things, like it's built to be throwaway. It's built to be, you can't open it up and mess with it.
Right. That was, what was I listening to? I think it was Hack 5. It was one of Darren's blogs or something. And the fact that, like, he was telling his dad, yeah, I went to school for working on computers and stuff. And then his dad's, like, video card went out, and his dad was like, fix this. And, like, took the card out and, like, expected his son to solder it.
Like, no.
No, that's
Can't
not how
do
it
it.
works. We'll order you a new one. But his dad came from the background of working on aircraft. And aircraft has removable cards like that. And when something breaks on it, you
Yeah.
solder the card and fix it and put it back in, and it works.
Because
Anyway.
we're at a point in technology now that like we've been building upon, building on those shoulders of giants is the classic term,
Right.
building on these things that it's so advanced. In order to truly understand how a video card works, you would have to study the history and like technology of video cards from like the 70s up until now, and there's just no way to do that anymore.
For every specific component, you
So
have to have
every
these
engineer is
specialization.
is very specialized in their one thing, and then it gets built together, and no one knows how the whole system works. Anyway,
Indeed. And with that, I think we should take this elsewhere, Gavin.
everybody, don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, youtube.com/AidenTalon. I think we're still getting /Tech Talk Tonight someday. Maybe on our 100th episode.
Somebody else has it.
Oh gosh.
And good guy Greg just joined our chat room, so great to have him in the chat room.
Send a phone, call us and leave a message, because that would be cool. We could play it on our follow-up, which we never have.
Right.
You can find all of the information to subscribe on iTunes and get the audio versions and video versions of our show and the show notes at techtalktonight.com.
And your homework this week, go out and tell a friend about Tech Talk Tonight, because we're dying here, folks. We need some new viewers, I guess. And are you good guy Greg? Are you GGG in the chat right now?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were normally just GG. GGG is good guy Greg, you realize, right?
That should be my thing.
It's the meme. Anyway, I'm glad you're all here. I love you all for being here. And I love you all on YouTube, all 17 or so of you that watch us on YouTube. I know you're not bots. You can't prove that you're bots. You can't prove that you're not bots, I know either, but
if you're a human, if you're a human and you listen to this point in the YouTube video, leave a comment.
all you have to do is just leave a comment, like put anything at all.
Anything.
Give us some lorem ipsum. That would be great. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. You can catch me at @TheRealBradenH on Twitter. Say goodnight, Gavin.
See you next week, everybody.